In today's video, we're gonna find out if Emic Trunkheart is still worth fusing after they nerfed his basic skill. So one thing that we managed to do, guys, is to make this team affinity friendly, full auto on Ultra Nightmare, because a lot of you guys ask for it, so now you can use the quick battle feature. Welcome to the channel, everyone. I'm Skratch. In today's video, we're gonna have a look if Emic Trunkheart is still worth the effort. Now, we are currently on the test server, guys, because I have access to the Fusion Champion, so we can take him in for a spin and actually do a proper champion spotlight. So far, we've done different clan boss teams, but we haven't really checked the champion in full, right? Like, we haven't really had a look to see, okay, can we use him in arena? Can we use him in different dungeons? What exactly we can do with this champion in the game? So that's what we're gonna do today. Basically, you're gonna get a shield, you're gonna get a decrease of cooldowns on all allies by 1 turn, you're gonna get unkillable, you're gonna get a taunt on himself and a shield. So we're gonna try him on the Shogun dungeon, because I feel like that's where I'll be using him personally. I wanna test him in arena to see how he works with the passive that he has. And of course, I'm gonna show you how to set that full auto team for Ultra Nightmare. So first thing first, guys, I wanna sort out the clan boss because I still have that build on him and we had to adjust a few speeds compared to the other day. If you remember, I've done the video with Maneater and him called the Heart Eater, where we actually had a look at a team that will work on Ultra Nightmare on Nightmare all affinities, but we had a small issue. Was not full auto. We had to make a very small setup. And a lot of people wanted to see a full auto team. Now, actually, we are able to get one done. I do want to give a massive shout out to Theo Glamas, because he actually kind of like pointed me in the right direction with a couple of changes on the speeds to make this working right here. He actually just slided in the comment section, so big shout out to him. We actually managed to make it work. Now, if we're gonna have a quick look at the calculator, guys, just to see the speeds and everything else that you need to know about the team, Emic is at 247 speed, Maneater at 240 speed, you have Fane at 177. Now, Fane, Ferakin the Fat, and Liburga can be replaced by any other damage dealer that doesn't manipulate Thermiter. So Ninja is a no-no. Ninja won't work. Dracomorph, Jintoro, Occult Brawler, Frozen Banshee, Krayla Witcharm, Longbeard, Lonataril, all these champions will work in this team without a problem. Just wanted to kind of like give you guys a couple of different examples. Cabrius, and so many other options. We have just too many champions in the game to remember them all right now. And then we have Ferakin the Fat at 175, and we have Liburga at 171 speed. Now, let me quickly show you how this team works. Basically, what we have different, we're gonna have a 1 turn delay on Maneater right here, and then that's about it. Nothing else whatsoever. But let me quickly show you the presets. So talking about the presets, guys, we have them right here. We actually changed it. Trunkman. Somebody posted this in the comment, and it does have a better vibe. Trunkman instead of Heart Eater. I don't know. It just sounds better. But basically, Emic will prioritize the A3. Maneater will prioritize the A3, but he will open with the A2. Liburga, prioritize whatever you guys feel like it. Whatever champions you're using. How I mentioned, Liburga, Fane, and Ferakin can be replaced by pretty much any other damage dealer in the game that doesn't affect the Thermiter. As simple as that. Doesn't matter who. And they don't need to have a specific preset either. Basically, I'm quickly gonna go on a regular run, then we're gonna back out, and then we're gonna do a quick battle one so you see the total result. You're gonna see how it starts. Full auto, hands-free, baby, because I can do clan boss with no handlebars, basically. Something like that, you know, like, let's just play a bit around with the words. But here we are, full auto setup. We don't have to do anything. Now, because the new feature requires us to 1-key full auto, which is a bit of nonsense, in order to take advantage of it and make the clan boss like this, we needed to come up with a different solution. So here we are, guys. This team will actually work full auto on Ultra Nightmare. For Nightmare, unfortunately, it won't work on full auto. But we're gonna see, are we able to 1-key it anyway without having it working on full auto, or who knows? So basically, you see the team runs. We're gonna back out of here. I just wanted to show you the setup, the way it works, but it's full auto, so you don't actually have to do something specific yourself. Let's go back on it. We've done quite a few keys just to try it out and check this out. Quick battle, and here we go. Quick battling, and let's see what result we're getting out of here. 79 million damage. Demon Lord, Ultra Nightmare, and we've done this in a few seconds, basically. Emic, 10.3 million damage. Maneater, 12.6. Liburga, 19. Fane, 20.9. Ferrokin, 15.9. We can actually go in and do another run just to compare the damage. Let's just do it. We're on the test server. We can just waste keys on and on and on. 80.5 million damage. So pretty straightforward. You see Liburga actually had a pretty good jump in damage here. If, for example, we're going to go over to Nightmare. So I haven't tried it on Nightmare. The setup for Nightmare cannot be full auto. And is the exact same thing we had on the other video, sorry, not yesterday's video, where, again, we needed to do a very small setup. But let's see if we are quick battling, can we get close to the 1 key without having it work properly? 83.3 million damage. So that means that somehow it still worked, okay? I didn't thought that it will because the calculator shows me clearly that it doesn't. So that's a bit odd. So Nightmare... You see, Maneater starts with the A2 right here with the exact same delay we had on the preset. But it puts the unkillable. So the stun target actually survived. So whoever was the stun target, it survived for a long time because that's why this played out. You see, Maneater will always place unkillable on the first turn. And in order to fix that, we need to have a 2-turn delay on his A2, which was pretty much impossible on full auto because the AI and the presets don't allow us to actually play with the champions and their skills how we want. But let's actually try another key on Nightmare to see. Is going to give us pretty much a similar result again or no? 85. So I gotta take it back. For whatever reason, it seems that it works. I'm not sure what's happening in the run. You've seen it display on the calculator. It shows it doesn't. But how you can see, it works. 80 plus million, 80 plus million, and what do we have here now? 80 plus million. So, Ultra Nightmare, Nightmare, full auto, it works, baby, with the exact same preset. Even though the calculator is displaying it differently, it does work. What about Brutal? Brutal is going to be a walk in the park. We should be able to do the damage even if the team doesn't go properly. It's only 20 million, and you see, you can actually see that on Brutal, the tune is not in sync and it failed and we only got 40 million damage. But it's still double the damage you need to get the top chest. So this is actually a pretty good thing. With Emic, we are able to do this if you have a Maneater. But let me quickly show you the stats on all the champions. I'm going to be very brief, guys, because I've already covered this in a different video. And if you want to see the stats, just in case if you want to build a team, you're going to be able to see it right here. You see the speeds, 247 like in the calculator. Then we have 171 up to 173. It works just fine. Then we have 240 speed on Maneater, 240. Then we have Ferrokin the Fat, 173, 45, doesn't really matter. And then you have Fane at 175, 76, 77. Higher than that is not going to work. All of them will have the exact same identical masteries. Each one of these champions. So keep that in mind as well. How you can probably notice nothing really different on any of them. But let's quickly change the build on the champion and try him out in the Shogun dungeon. So I adjusted my build on Emic to fit in my Shogun's dungeon team and for arena. We're gonna do a progression friendly build in just a minute. First, I wanna check a couple of different things. So we're gonna try to fit him in my Shogun's growth team. Now there, I have an issue. My team doesn't work at all anymore because I had to change my Cardiel and my Kaimar to work in the Fire Knight. So before, Kaimar used to be on a thick shield set with the highest crit damage, so he used to get the enfeebled debuff. Sometimes Cardiel was at 300 plus speed, was way tankier than he is right now, and he was able to survive the hits. Well, this team doesn't work anymore with Ninja and Coldheart, so we're about to see if, by replacing Ambassador in my old team with Emic, can he make the team work again? Right now, the team is just not working with the old comp because I don't have shield anymore, everything is messed up. But I need to have an unkillable buff to help me up. I need to have that taunt on a specific champion to help me out again, and I feel like he's gonna be able to make my team work again. So basically, this was my old team, right? And the way it works, I used to have the Enfeeble going on the lead. That's how it always getting placed by the Epic champion. And because of it, I need that Cardiel to survive. Then I need to have a shield. So many things that kind of like need to come in play. If no, this will happen and it's gonna be game over. This team is just not going to succeed anymore like this. And it's because I don't have a shield. The Enfeebled debuff goes on Cardiel because the taunt goes on him instead of going on the Epic champion. And because of it, I feel like if I'm bringing Emic in this team, I'm gonna be able to make my team work again without changing the builds on my Cardiel and Kymar, and I can still use them on the Fire Knight without a problem. So that's kind of like what I'm hoping to do. And like this, we should be kind of like spot on. So instead, I want to make sure he is actually opening with the A3, right? And then he can do whatever he wants. So let's see if just by changing one champion in the team without changing their builds is actually going to be good enough to make this team work again and be consistent as it was before, at around 40 to 50 seconds to farm this dungeon non-stop. Yes, there are plenty of different teams for the Shogun, guys, and you can make different teams with him to be more free-to-play friendly, honestly. Quite a few of them. You do need to have very high blessings on this dungeon. And honestly, if by any chance you are not endgame, I would not recommend you to do this dungeon at all. Just completely ignore this dungeon for the first 2 years when you start playing the game, because it's irrelevant if you're not endgame. Let me just put it like that, be honest with you guys. This is a dungeon that is kind of like designed for Krakens that want to get that extra stat on their champions. That extra 12% crit damage, that extra 39 accuracy or resistance, basically. That's about it. The majority of people should never bother with this dungeon, never make it a priority. Let me just be honest with you, because that's the reality, that's the way this content has been designed in the game. So you see, 41 seconds. I'm pretty happy with that, actually. So if this makes my team work again, just like this, that's what I'm gonna use this bad boy. That was my initial idea anyway, to make him viable for the Shogun dungeon and don't worry about the rest, you know. So it definitely feels like he's doing the job. Now I've done around 10 runs before as well, just to check it out, guys, and it does work consistently. I had 0 losses, zero issues whatsoever. We've never been even close to getting a loss with the team, you know. And how you can probably see is just completely wrecking the boss in here, like 39 seconds again, back to back. So I'm very happy with this. I do think that for me, for my account, Emic is just worth it for this, because I don't need to change this team. I don't need to make a wheat tier with high crit damage and stuff like this. And I'm pretty happy with a result like this. 39 seconds, consistency. But let's actually take him in arena and see what we can do with him there. Now I actually decided to change a bit the build for him in arena, just to kind of like make it more relevant. You want to have him on a bolster, especially if you're not planning to use Necret with him on the team every time. So you need to have some accuracy, and honestly, this is some of the best bolster I had on my account. My bolster really sucks, but I managed to get him to 300 speed, 91k HP. You can definitely drop the HP for an accuracy banner, so if you want to get more accuracy, drop the chest piece from HP to accuracy. I just didn't have one available from a bolster set, and I have 300 accuracy. So I prioritize speed, accuracy, HP, survivability. Basically, everything that matters on him is in the shield and the passive and the A3, but I'm going to explain you all that in just a second. Masteries, I went with defense and support 3, and I got Eagle Eye as tier 6. I don't intend to deal damage with this champion. I don't need War Master in here, and actually, with the exact same build that I have on, I could make it work in the Shogun dungeon, but I need to have around 30 more speed to make it work in the exact same way. So that will be a bit of a challenge to keep him in bolster and make him so fast for the Shogun dungeon, but that's definitely something that I'll be working on from here on. That's my main priority now for his build. So basically in arena, guys, I never thought that I'll be saying this, but funny enough, it's actually gonna be a thing. Taunt, right? So you know, if the enemies don't have active skills like AoEs available to use, they're gonna be forced to use the basic skill, which might be a single target, or the A2 or the A3, which might be a single target. And because of the taunt buff, they will be forced to attack him. Now, when I have shield on, because of his passive, if he's attacked under a shield buff, we'll have a chance to increase the cooldown of a random skill on the enemy by 2 turns. We're gonna have a chance to constantly keep the opponent locked. And then with the A2, it's gonna decrease the cooldowns of all the skills on my team by 1 turn, allowing me to deal more damage faster. Now you do need to start with a lockout, especially on a team like this where you have Rotos. Rotos can easily ignore the unkillable, you know. Emic as well can be a great counter against Cupidus and Venus, just because you're placing unkillable, you're keeping your team available, the opponent won't be able to wreck you. Of course, if you do have a Rotos on the enemy team, or you have a Georgid or a different champion that ignores unkillable, block damage, etc., it's gonna be a problem. Baron, for example, is not gonna be a problem because he doesn't ignore unkillable. Now, I'm gonna use Ramantu in here just to have that extra accuracy on the lead in case if I need more for the passive. So I'm gonna lock them. Now I'm gonna put unkillable. I do have a shield on him because he's on a bolster set. You see, everybody has to attack him. That Duchess just increased the cooldowns of her skills by 2 turns. And I know they're already locked, but what it means is that the rest of them will be forced to attack him as well because they only have the A1 available, which is a single target hit, and they will constantly lock the other skills. 75% chance for it to happen, basically. So right now I can just go in and slowly hammer the opponent, you know. We're gonna put more shield in just to make sure we're gonna be spot on. We're gonna decrease the cooldowns of the skills right now by 1 turn on all my team. Harima, she just got her skills increased. Rotos didn't because the 75% chance didn't proc. Same with UDK, but you know what? If we are moving fast enough, we're gonna be able to put that skill back again on a Emic, you know, to use the taunt again in 2 turns, okay, which is fine. It will give us a chance, but we already have the skill available on our lockout, which is Warlord in my case. You might use a Basher, you might use an Alika, you might use Yumeko, for example. Any of these champions will work, you know, and there you go. You got that done. So again, just because of the Shogun dungeon and this, the champion is worth it for my own account. Now, it might be different for some of you guys out there, you know. You might not care about Arena at all. He's gonna be great in Tag Team Arena. He could potentially be interesting in Live Arena. It's a bit different there because it's easily to block him, you know. And I do think the build that I have on Bolster is gonna be amazing for the Doom Tower. Just to carry you through waves, guys, if you're struggling. It might even be interesting, for example, on the Bommel. So I think this rotation might have the Bommel. Unfortunately, the Doom Tower is not open for me, guys. So I'm not able to go on and do some waves or anything like that. But I just kind of like wanted to point it out. The Bolster, which is kind of like more progression friendly, or a normal shield set, is actually going to be pretty beneficial for you in here because you're bringing in your team, the enemies will attack you, and they will increase the cooldowns of their skills whenever they hit Emic. Very similar with what I showed you in Arena. But that was all for today's video, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. You think it's worth it for you guys to go and fuse the champion, knowing that they modified the A1, the way he increases the shield is not as relevant as it was before. Maybe you don't need to do the Clan Boss Ultra Nightmare or the Nightmare how I showed you in the video, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Much love, appreciate all of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all soon in the next one. Peace.